Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the content that's coming up left, right and centre. That's the way football works. You know, there's been nothing really to talk about because, as you guys know, I've not been watching the World Cup. But it broke earlier today, or Sunday for those who are actually watching it, that Gareth Southgate is going to be staying as England manager until 2024, until the Euros. Now, I know Southgate's come under a lot of criticism at the moment. He really, really has. I've criticised him a few times for some of his tactics over the years, but you look back 6 years ago, we crash out of the we crash out of the Euros against Iceland under Roy Hodgson. Hodgson steps down, and Southgate comes in, and one of the first things he said is the fact that he wants to bring club football mentality back to the England side, and we all loved him for that when he said that. Absolutely, just all you know. I just remember everybody saying, you know, it's a fantastic news. It's something that England's been missing. You jump on 5-6 years later, everybody hates it because he's doing the same as everybody else that come before. They're picking his favourites over those that are playing in form. You know, we've had this conversation many times, but at the same point, 6 years ago, if any of you guys, when it was announced, because that's around about the time I was starting to think about doing this content on the channel. I've been doing it for 5 years, 4 years in JPWHU TV, but 4.5 years in this instance. But at that point, even though when that all happened, I guarantee you, all of you guys not one of you would have said in the 3 tournaments that Southgate was to look after, we would get to a quarter-final, a semi-final, and a final in those tournaments. Absolutely not. I mean, obviously we crashed out against France in the quarter-final in the World Cup just gone. I haven't watched it, as I said. I genuinely haven't. We got to the final in the Euro 2023, technically. I know it's meant to be Euro 22, but obviously played in 21. So yeah, you know. But no, honestly, all jokes aside, you know, Euro 2020, of course, but Euro 21. But you know, it's just, and it was a great campaign to watch. You could argue we had easy competition like we did in the World Cup before that, when we got to the semi-final and lost to Croatia. The only teams we lost to were Croatia and Belgium in that side. So, you know, it's hard to accept that. But England have got such a talented squad. I do kind of generally think, to a degree, it is one of the strongest sides we've seen for a long time. I don't think it's the all-time favourite. I know everyone's going to, back in '66 we beat it, blah, blah, blah. But, which, agree, of course we did. But there was only 18 teams in that tournament. Now there's, 36, 38, whatever the tournaments are. That's the reason. There's a lot of better teams than there were almost 66 years ago. You know, it's phenomenally bad from that point of view. But looking at the bigger picture, we've seen Declan Rice breakthrough, we've seen Harry Kane equal Wayne Rooney's highest. You know, Wayne Rooney's tally is England's highest ever goal scorer. Yes, okay, a lot of those have been penalties, but still, it's still a huge achievement. You know, we've seen players like Raheem Sterling come back to the best abilities that he can do. He's still not 100% there yet, but he's actually his arc over the last 4-6 years has been phenomenally good. You know, we've had Declan Rice secure himself in both the Premier League and also in the England team as well. We've had Calvin Phillips in there. We've had the Poundland Beckham as well, for that matter. You know who I'm talking about. You know, Jack Grealish. You know, we're just you know, we've had some phenomenal performances from our goalkeepers in those tournaments as well, for that matter. Things are much better, and yeah, I can understand the reason why Southgate, when we lost to France, he was not happy with how he's been treated in the preceding year or so since the Euro final, and I get it, 100% understand the reasons why. You know, because this is how fickle sports fans in general are. I'm not just talking about you and I'm talking about the media as well. The media are better than it used to be, but pointing the finger saying he's shit, blah 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 blah, shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. That's everybody's opinion, of course, but at the same point, it's it just shows the bollocks that Southgate's got to a degree. That Southgate has got to stand up and go, do you know what? No, I'm not going to quit now. This is my opportunity to make sure that we get one up on what we've done beforehand, because that's exactly what his plan's always been, to do better in every single tournament. Yes, okay. There's been issues around, from what I've read, issues around refereeing decisions and in the quarter-final against France, and Harry Kane putting too much power into the second penalty. I don't blame Kane for that in any shape or form. He's a phenomenal player. He's not world-class player in any shape or form, but he is a phenomenal player. Now, and the reason why I'm saying he's not a world-class player, because what has he won with Spurs and England? Fuck all. Nothing. Other than the odd League Cup or the FA Cup. It's not enough. He needs to win the Champions League. He needs to win a tournament with England to be world class. He has to. He's up there, of course. He's in the top 3, 100%. Well, that's a bit over generous. He's in the top 5, definitely, of phenomenal players that are currently playing that aren't suckling at their own ego. He's a very, very humble man, and that's one of the reasons why, as an England supporter, I absolutely love him. And as a West Ham supporter, I applaud him. He's a brilliant player. I don't give a shit about the West Ham Spurs rivalry. It's not existent. It's not existent as far as I'm concerned. But as I say, going back to the subject itself, I think it's a very, very good idea that Gareth Southgate is staying on. It really, really is. There's still a project there. You can't get rid of somebody when you're building a project. You really, really can't. Which is probably one of the reasons why Moyes is going to stay on for a lot longer than we all think he will. But at the same point, guys, it's a very, very good decision. I can understand the reason why people are finding it stupid that you're staying on. I get it. But at the end of the day, guys, we are not football managers, or at any level. We can only give our opinions on what we're observing, of course, but there's what we see is a tenth of what goes on behind the scenes in training and half time and all the rest of it. But for as Southgate is concerned, I think it's a phenomenally good idea. So guys, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you're thinking on this. It'd be interesting to see what your thoughts on this. Do you agree that Southgate should be the manager? If not, who do you think should be the manager to take us into the Euros? I'll be very interested to see your comments on this. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Take care. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you very soon. All the best now.